We do bios, and we talk about, we're really big on do it yourself. It's a great lead.
I'm coming up with some more stuff right now. Things that we could do.
Oh my God.
It's just how to, I was looking at my son's sink because I never go in their bathroom ever. I was in there yesterday. I was like, oh, that's disgusting. The buildup around the sinks. Okay. Now how can we do a DIY on how to not only clean that, but also prevent it from happening, all the minerals and calcium
and hair.
Yeah. All that stuff. How can you do a preventative? That's it. It takes you a couple hours maybe to do that video to get that much value out of it.
Yeah. It's amazing the response we get when we do do-it-yourself videos, because we want to be a company that says, look, you don't have to call us. We'll tell you how to do it. Well, this goes back again to the Wild West days. I remember, and if you're an older contractor, listen to me, you know what I'm talking about. When Home Depot and Lowe's came out, they were going to put us out of business. That's what everybody thought. They were selling water heaters cheap. They were selling all these plumbing parts. We were all up in arms that they were and we were all complaining here in Texas because they could advertise without a license. We had to have our master license on everything. They could do it without it.
I didn't realize that.
Oh yeah,
they didn't need a license. I didn't even realize
they could get around it because they were just selling the heater, but they were subbing out the work, right?
Yeah.
And so it was very unfair, and we were all very threatened. But one thing I realized. Our busiest day became Monday and the weekends.
Yep.
Because Home Depot got that homeowner into their store and they bought all this stuff to fix their plumbing problem, and they made it a whole bunch worse or didn't even fix it. They spent the entire weekend not enjoying the weekend, messing things up. And actually the opposite happened. We became very busy because of Home Depot and Lowe's.
I know that trip. Yeah. It's not going to take me very long. I'll get down there about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, pick that up on Saturday. And then, if I tear the water heater out right now, that's not going to work because we got to get up in the morning and take showers. And I'll do it Sunday afternoon. It don't happen.
There's been many a water heater sitting in a garage.
Yeah, tech gets there and there's stuff.
And he's like, I don't know how to do this.
I don't know what I'm doing.
And we didn't even have YouTube.
Yeah.
So they couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, that's crazy. Do you know how to solder? I don't know how to solder,
And so we ended up getting really busy instead of going, being threatened by the big box stores. And now we have all kinds of threats, with online stuff. But how do you overcome that? We'll do a show on that. We won't stick to today's topic, but if you really want to grow your business, even in downturns, even in tough economic times, you need to put together a membership program. You need to become a membership company. And one of the things we didn't talk about real quickly. So you got your two column quoting, okay? You got a non-member price and a member price. The member price is the margin you need to be profitable. The non-member price is a penalty if you don't buy a membership. So you get more money than you're expected to, but no one's going to do that, right?
Yep.
So you have the membership price, so you're discounting, but yet you never discount the margin you need to be profitable. That's very important. It's extremely important. People want a deal. You're giving them a discount before they even ask for it, and it's substantial. It's 15% less, okay? So the higher the ticket, the bigger the discount.
Yep.
And so they're not even having to ask for it, and you're showing it to them, and you're giving it to them. And then you sell them a membership on top of this. So if you're making your margin on the sale and you get a $99 bonus, call it a spiff if that makes you happy out there, all you best practice groups that teach spiffs. Let's call it a spiff back to the company.
Spiffs, if you don't know, spiff is a cuss word around here.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're getting a spiff, a $99 spiff, right?
Yeah.
On top of we're already getting our margin, right?
It's already built in.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the question is, when you sell 6,000 memberships at $99, how much money is that? Just without using calculators. I'll give you 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. It's not 60,000. It's 600,000 for all of you thinking about that. 600 grand. We were a $3 million business and we sold $600,000.
Now you're a 3.6.
Yeah. And we didn't do any extra work for it. But actually, we're not 3.6 because we went to 5 plus the 6.
Yeah.
Because we were selling stuff now.
Yeah. Yeah. And then now you've got the membership base.
Yeah. So now what do I do with the membership money? If you sell maintenance agreements, your accountants, your best practices groups telling you that you have to put it into a bucket and it's deferred revenue and you can't take that revenue out until you do the service. With a membership, I can do whatever I want with the money because I'm not obligated to do anything.
Yeah.
But to give you a discount.
Yep.
And to be in the club. Right?
Yep.
And you authorize me to email you, text you, or call you.
Yeah.
Because you're a member.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So,
it's Costco, man.
Right.
I mean,
same thing.
Yeah.
And so we get this extra money and what do we do with it? Well, I market with it because I want more members. So I pour that money back into marketing. And when I pour it back into marketing, I'm able to go out and buy more members.
You didn't go buy a boat.
Well, I might have.
Or another something.
Not at first. Because I was building a business.
My point. Most people are going to go buy a boat.
No, I didn't.
Right off the bat.
No.
They're not. They don't think.
Oh, no.
Future.
No. There was this new thing coming out called Google. And that's where it went.
Yeah.
Yeah. It all went to marketing.
Yep.
Now, I did have a really nice race car with Berkey's splattered all over it. Maybe some of that money went to tires and race fuel.
You didn't get that until you invested into your future.
It was a couple years, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't right away.
Right.
And it became, we'd take it and park it at, not trade shows, but festivals.
Yeah.
I'd park it and we'd have a bunch of plungers in it and stuff.
There you go.
That's
marketing.
That's marketing. And people are drawn, kids especially, are drawn to a race car.
Yeah.
So it became a great marketing piece for us as well. And I got to have fun and go race all over the country every year. And so all that from memberships. Is a maintenance agreement going to do that for you? No, it's not.
Well, the difference is that you're receiving the money instead of giving the money away.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're consistently, getting, 3,000, 4,000 new members every year, plus renewals that happen year over year over year, right?
Yep.
And so 7 years in business, tens of thousands of memberships have been sold.
Yep.
And it's millions of dollars.
It adds up.
It adds up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we have money to market. That's how we have money to do, stuff for the employees because it's extra. I'm getting my margin on what I sold.
Yeah.
Right. And now I'm getting extra money.
Yeah.
So the extra money goes back into marketing and whatever marketing that may be. More members, customer relations with your employees, whatever it is. And so
that column goes up, membership column goes up. It just starts feeding back into itself.
Yeah. It's repetitive.
Yep.
It's a recurring revenue, which is very important.
And it causes, Coop and I talked about, and we talked about the other day, it causes reviews. It causes referrals.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a member. We had somebody email the other day and said, I want to refer you guys. How do I do it? Is there a link? I mean, Cooper was like, yeah, I'll give you a link here. I mean,
150 times 150 times just in July.
Sure.
That happened.
And that referral from that member is going to be so strong, much stronger than it would be somebody that, because the tech doesn't have to sell anything when he walks up to the door.
No, it's a done deal.
The next door neighbors.
It's pre-sold. It's pre-sold.
Yep.
And if customers have a really good experience, they're going to tell somebody.
Yeah.
That's the important thing.
Old school word of mouth.
Yep. And that's how we build businesses. And our customer base all in is 30, 40,000, 50,000. I'm not sure.
I had to check.
That's something I should have looked at before we got on here, but we can talk about that on another show as well.
Yep.
We have so many shows we could put together that just are informative, but I just think that this one should be something you should really pay attention to. Where the camera's at. Hey,
We got one here. We got one there. You'd have to look around.
Hey.
Maybe that one.
Yeah. Hey, listen to me. Get your membership program started today. It makes a difference. Please.
Big difference.
If you have any questions on how to get it going, how to set it up, what to say to customers, how to get 2-column quoting going, any of those things, just reach out to us and we'll help you out there. Well, Mr. Tim, I think we ran it enough today.
Yep.
Everybody's probably ready to get back to what's going on in
back
the
to work and put all these principles into action.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for liking and subscribing again. Appreciate you joining us again today. And we do this. Why do we do this? Because we just love the industry. Bill's been in it for a long time and loves it, loves the people, and that's it.
Maybe we just like to talk.
Maybe we like to talk. Maybe a little bit of both.
Awesome. Well, appreciate everyone. Thank you very much for watching or listening today. Let's go out and have a profitable time. Thank you.
See ya.